Your alarm goes off. Within 30 seconds, you're scrolling through text and emails and Instagram reels and news alerts. Your brain is already spinning with 17 different priorities before you've even brushed your teeth. Does that sound familiar? If your phone becomes your life coach, your inbox becomes your boss, and somehow that group chat about gluten-free brownies is the most urgent thing on your radar, I think you know what I'm talking about. You're just starting your day like most people do, in survival mode. But here's what I discovered. The women who seem like they have it all together, they're not superhuman. They just refuse to let the world set the tone for their day. It's not that they're out there meditating in silk robes at sunrise. They're just not answering emails before they brush their teeth. They've learned the secret of the first 5 minutes, not the first hour, not some elaborate morning ritual that requires waking up before the sun. Just 5 intentional minutes that create a firewall between who you are and what the world demands of you. Because when you don't take those minutes, you're essentially handing the remote control to everyone else. Your boss sets your mood with that urgent email. Your kid's chaos becomes your chaos. Your phone's notification become your priority list, and you spend the entire day reacting instead of responding. And there's a massive difference. And you luckily don't need a 5 a.m. workout or a Himalayan salt lamp or a perfectly created smoothie bowl to own your day. You don't even need a whole new routine. You just need a few minutes, a tiny pause, a small, sacred window of clarity that'll help you remember who you are and what matters today and how you want to show up. Because when you start your day in reactive mode, scrolling, worrying, rushing, you're already behind. You've already messed up your dopamine. We've talked about that on lots of different shows. It's so important not to screw up your dopamine first thing in the morning. I want you to think about taking a few intentional minutes to anchor your thoughts and your heart and your plans. So again, you don't have to overhaul your morning. I just want you to change your mindset. I want you to lead your day instead of chasing it. That's what we're going to talk about today. How to start your morning with momentum so your day feels less like survival mode and more like something you're proud to live through. Let me take you back for a second. There was a season in my life when mornings felt like a tornado, not a fun kind of tornado, the kind where you're trying to find one clean pair of socks while mentally sorting out 17 priorities, forgetting your coffee in the microwave for the third time, and wondering how you're already behind and it's not even 9, right? I used to think I had a discipline problem. I thought I needed a better planner or a better alarm or a more productive system. But what I actually needed was a moment to get me back before the day got away from me. And that's when I started building what I now call morning momentum. It wasn't about doing more. It was about getting clear, not with a giant to-do list, but on what matters, who I want to be, and how I want to show up in the world. The great part about it is it took me about 5 minutes. And here's what surprised me. When I started doing this and doing this consistently every day, just these few intentional questions in the morning, things really did start changing for me. My energy changed. I had more peace, and I actually started getting more done because I was clear on what mattered. I wasn't spinning in circles trying to please everyone. I was focused. Again, I was leading my day, not chasing my day. And I was a lot more pleasant to be around. So the morning momentum concept, I'm going to walk you through it. It's a set of questions that I go through in the mornings. But first, I want to tell you the science and soul behind it, why it matters, because I think when we understand the science, it helps us understand why this is so important. When you start your day with intentional thought, you light up the prefrontal cortex of your brain. That is the part responsible for executive function and planning and problem solving. That's the part of your brain that says, let's have a plan, not let's reorganize the pantry at 2 a.m. That means you're literally turning on the part of your brain that helps you lead and not react. It also gives you a dopamine boost. Small wins, even in the form of writing one thing down that you're excited about, literally change your brain chemistry. They tell your brain, we're okay, we've got this, let's go. This is why it's so important not to wake up and just start scrolling and taking in those huge dopamine hits from social media. We want to be intentional about getting healthy dopamine and not cheap dopamine first thing in the morning. Now, from our faith perspective, it's also a way to connect your daily life with God's bigger story for you. It's a moment to say, God, speak into my day. Show me what's mine to carry and what I can lay down. But here's the kicker. This isn't about working harder. It's about aligning deeper. When you take even 3 minutes to check in with yourself and with God, you're stepping into the day with intention, not obligation. And that one shift, that changes everything. Morning momentum isn't about becoming someone else. It's not about working harder. It's about returning to yourself before the world tries to tell you who you should be. So I have put my morning momentum program for free inside the Uplift app. So inside Uplift, there's a tool under the productivity section called Morning Momentum. If you haven't downloaded Uplift yet, I want you to download it. You can use it free for 30 days. But if you don't want to use the app, I'm also going to give you all the questions here today so you can do this on your own. I like it in the app because you can do your morning momentum and then you can save it so you can look back on it. But there's also an evening reflection that you can do. So again, it just takes a couple of minutes, but it's such a game changer in your day. So the morning momentum tool in the app is a simple guided journal with really powerful prompts that are designed to get your heart and your mind and your focus in the right place. So here's how it works. If you have the app in front of you, open the app. On the home page, I want you to scroll down to the productivity section. You're going to see morning momentum and you're going to see a guided journal inside of that. It's just a list of prompts. It's guided questions. You can answer 1, you can answer 3, you can answer all of them. That is completely up to you. You don't have to fill it all out. Do what works for you every day. Once you're done, your answers are saved in My Entries. So when you open up the guided journaling section of the app and click on My Entries, you'll see what you put in that morning. It's a reset that's going to carry with you throughout the day. Now, like I said, you don't have to do all 8 prompts. Some mornings I do 2, other mornings I will do them all with my tea in hand and feel like I'm really in charge of my life, right? I pray about it, I go through the prompts, and I feel like I just had a life coaching session right there and I'm good to go. So I want you to use it how you need it. The questions are tools, not requirements. So let's walk through the prompts and why they matter. The first question for morning momentum, again, you can do this in the app or you can write down these questions and do this on your own every day. First question is, what's one thing I'm looking forward to today? It gives you a joy anchor. It gives you something to smile about. It shifts your brain from anxiety to anticipation. Second question, what's the one thing I want to focus on today that will have the biggest impact? This helps you fight distraction and pick the one thing that matters most. It's the antidote to feeling overwhelmed. Number 3, what are 3 additional things I will do today? So this gives you clarity on your secondary priorities, not everything, just 3. Done is better than drowning. Number 4, how will I allocate my time today to ensure these things get completed? This takes your ideas and turns them into a plan. You can time block it if you like to time block. I'm a time blocker. Anything that I need to do is going on my calendar in a certain block of time. Whatever it is for you that you need to allocate time today to make sure these things get done, you do that with question number 4. Question number 5, what's one small thing that could be an obstacle and how will I handle it? This builds resilience before the day throws a wrench into your plans. I always ask my coaching clients, what's an obstacle that can happen this week? What's a challenge that can happen this week? Because we want to see it in advance and be mentally prepared for it. So every morning, what's a small thing that could be an obstacle and how will I handle it? It only takes about 30 seconds in your head, but you're mentally prepared. That builds your strength and that builds your resilience. Question number 6. What is one small thing I can do today that will impact my future? This is legacy thinking. It's identity reinforcement. It could be drinking more water. It could be making that call you need to make. It could be sending that pitch or writing the paragraph. What is one small thing I can do today that will impact my future? Again, our futures are defined by the small actions we take day by day. So being intentional about it, thinking through with this legacy thinking, it's a real game changer. Number 7, who will I connect with today? Connection creates meaning. It creates joy in our lives. This keeps relationships intentional and not accidental. Because if you're like me, you go through the workday and then after work, you're with your family and you haven't connected with anybody in a meaningful way. Our girlfriends matter, especially. Our extended family matters. Who's one person today that you'll connect with? And 8, what does God want me to know today? This is your spiritual grounding. It might come through prayer, a verse, a whisper from God, or just a deep breath. It centers your day in that divine partnership. So this is it. These are the 8 questions. Like I said, some days you'll do all 8, some days you'll do 3, some days you'll do 4, whatever you need. There are no rules. This is a tool for you that will change your day, that will change your outlook, and help you live intentionally. I want to tell you how this has worked for me. There was a week when everything was off. I was traveling, the kids' schedules were bananas, and my to-do list looked like a CVS receipt. So I opened Morning Momentum, and I only answered 3 prompts. I answered, what's one thing I want to focus on? What could be an obstacle? And what does God want me to know? And that was it. But it gave me my center back. The obstacle was my own perfectionism, and the answer was grace. And what God wanted me to know was, you're already enough before you do anything today. And that was so impactful to me. I remember just not feeling overwhelmed, knowing that I had a lot ahead of me and it was a bananas week. But I was already enough before I did a single thing, and that God was with me every step of the way. And there was this other time I was making a huge decision, and I felt all the feelings we feel, anxious and unsure and kind of spinning out. And I opened Morning Momentum, and I remember answering, what small thing can I do today that will impact my future? And my answer was, send the email I've been avoiding. It seemed small, but that email led to a conversation that opened a huge door in my business. And that's how God works. Sometimes it's not a lightning bolt. It's a whispered nudge that gets written down and acted on. I want to share that with you. I'm so excited to share that with you. I want to get practical with you on this because I know you're like me. You love a list. I'm going to give you a list of things to do. No color-coded planners or sunrise yoga required, just 5 steps. And one of them includes drinking coffee. So you're welcome about that. Step 1, open the Uplift app. Step 2, tap on Morning Momentum in the productivity section on the homepage. Answer 1 through 8 questions, whichever ones you want to. You don't have to do all of them. Now, what you can do is you can take a screenshot of your answers, or you can just use my entries later in the day to go back to what you wrote. 5th step, I want you to repeat it tomorrow. Set a reminder or anchor it as a new habit in your life, maybe when you have coffee in the mornings or quiet time, however you want to do that. The bonus step here is at the end of the week, I want you to open my entries and I want you to skim back through what you wrote. I want you to look at how much clarity you've created and how many nudges from God you've received and how many small wins you stacked up. That's real momentum. And I'll tell you, it's not the only tool that we have waiting for you in Uplift. If you love Morning Momentum, you're going to love all the other productivity tools. We have an evening reflection that's going to help you wind down and release stress and reflect with intention. We have a weekly action plan. You're going to hear more about that next week. It's going to help you map out your priorities before the week even starts. We have a weekly review, so you can look back on what worked and what didn't and what to celebrate. And I also created a really powerful monthly vision casting tool that'll help you dream and plan and step into the next level of your calling. All these tools are free in the Uplift app. They're here to serve you, not to add pressure, but to create space in your life, to give you structure for peace and clarity for your purpose and margin for what matters most. So you don't need a whole new life. You just need a new way to greet your life in the mornings. And it starts with one moment, one decision, one prompt. The world's going to come at you fast, but you're not starting your day in chaos. You're starting in truth and clarity. You are becoming a woman who leads herself well, not by just working harder, but by listening deeper. So today I want you to open the app, use the tool, and let it change your day. And tomorrow, I want you to do it again. Because small, faithful steps lead to lasting transformation. Because God is in it with you every step of the way. Okay, now, what about recommendations? I got a recommendation for you this week. It is skincare. I'm on a skincare kick. If you have not listened to my skincare episodes, I have so many. We'll link them in the show notes. This one, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see it's super simple, it's affordable, and it actually works. It's the Ordinary's glycolic acid 7% toner. This stuff is basically liquid exfoliation. So it is glycolic acid. That's an AHA, which stands for alpha hydroxy acid. And what that means in normal people terms is it helps loosen up and remove dead skin cells so your skin can look smoother and clearer, just better. One of my teenage sons uses it every night to keep his breakouts under control. It keeps his pores clear and calms down the chaos on his face without drying him out. It's amazing. I wish I had had that instead of Seabreeze astringent that I used for about 20 years on my face. I don't use this on my face right now because I'm already using tretinoin, and that speeds up exfoliation on your face. It speeds up the skin cell turnover. So I don't want to make my skin extra sensitive. I don't need it right now. But where I do use it is I use it on the backs of my upper arms. You know those tiny, rough little bumps that a lot of us get? It's sometimes called chicken skin. It is keratosis pilaris. I think I said that right. Glycolic acid actually clears them up really quickly. I also will swipe it on my elbows or my knees if they're looking a little dry or rough. Basically, if there's a patch of skin that feels bumpy or blah, this toner smooths it out. It's one of these really inexpensive products. It's under $15 that quietly does a great job behind the scenes. The Ordinary Glycolic Acid 7% toner, I am never without it. I love it. And you know what else I love? I love that you're here. Do you get tired of me saying that? Because I don't get tired of saying it. I am so grateful that we have this time together. Every week you're showing up for your growth and your faith and your future, and that excites me. This is why I do what I do. I want to give you tools. I want to help you. I want to help you thrive and not just survive in life. I'm excited about Morning Momentum. I'm excited for you to use this tool, whether you get it in the app, it's even in the free version of the app, or you just write it out and use it on your own. It only takes 5 minutes. The most powerful things are often the easiest things to do, and this is super easy to do. So this week, I want you to keep stepping up, keep showing up and loving well, because you cannot break a woman who gets her strength from God. I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you again soon. They're not superhuman. Let me do that again. We did it. We're out. Cut.